Katy Perry was sitting in her dressing room, and the buzzing sound of the American Idol studio could be heard coming through the walls a little bit. Her signature bright makeup, a sparkly gown that screamed pop stardom, and the weight of 7 seasons engraved into her eyes were all reflected in the mirror in front of her. The mirror displayed a kaleidoscope of hues. It was the year 2024, and the news had just been announced. Katy Perry had apparently stated that she would never return to American Idol. She had described her experience as suffocating. She was lost in contemplation as she touched the edge of a sequin sleeve, and the word remained in the air, and it had a significant amount of meaning. Something that had started out as a dream job, mentoring new artists and basking in the glow of a cultural powerhouse, had transformed into something quite different since it had begun. The following is a narrative that details Katy's journey on American Idol, the reasons she left the show, and the spark of reinvention was waiting for her. In 2018, Katy, a pop icon who was at the pinnacle of her career, became a contestant on American Idol. Having achieved success with songs such as Firework, Raw, and Teenage Dream, she stood out as a supernova, exuding charisma and being approachable. Katy Perry provided the star power that the show needed once it was relaunched by ABC following its time on Fox. She offered a lively and passionate vibe to the judging panel, which also included Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan. Her remarks were so funny that they could be included in memes, her attire were a fashion show, and her criticisms were a combination of tough love and contagious excitement. The contestants were wide-eyed dreamers who were pursuing stardom, just like she had been 20 years earlier when she was singing gospel in Nashville, before reinventing herself as a pop provocateur. She saw herself like the hopefuls. However, behind the surface, the role was quite taxing. In addition to being a television show, American Idol was also a machine. In addition to the never-ending auditions, the emotional backstories of the contestants, and the need to strike a balance between honesty and kindness, the filming days gradually turned into nights. It was difficult for Katy, who is recognized for her unfiltered sincerity, to meet the requirements. She had the intention of fostering and encouraging participants to discover their own distinctive voices, but the framework frequently prioritized polish over risk. She would tell a nervous 18-year-old, "I want to see your soul, not just your range," only to witness them stumble under the show's conventional demands. "I want to see your soul," she would say. The experience was similar to attempting to create a masterpiece with a restricted palette. Without exaggeration, the adjective suffocating was used. According to those close to Katy, she's experiencing an increasing sense of constriction. The schedule of the show was inconvenient for her because it interfered with her singing career, her residency in Las Vegas, and her job as a mother to her daughter, Daisy, who she shares with her husband, Orlando Bloom. She put her whole heart into Idol on a season-by-season basis, but the return on her investment was decreasing. It was the excitement of uncovering raw potential that was eclipsed by the repetitious production cycles and the scrutiny of social media, where every criticism she gave was analyzed. Fans accused her of being harsh when she referred to a performance as pitchy, and when she applauded a participant, others in the audience accused her of showing partiality. It was exhausting to walk the tightrope. The toll was concealed by Katy's captivating character. When she was in front of the camera, she was the world's favorite Katy Perry, eccentric, fearless, and a human firecracker. While she was away from the camera, she struggled with the burden of being a cultural lightning rod. Her outspoken uniqueness and feminist songs had always been a source of both admiration and criticism, but her presence on American Idol exacerbated both of these feelings. The backlash that she received in 2023 was a result of a viral incident in which she made a joke about reprimanding a participant for a poor performance. The sources state that she confessed in a poll, "I'm not here to be the bad guy," and that she said this, "But I'm also not here to lie." The event brought her struggle into sharper focus. As a composer who thrived on daring experimentation, Katy believed that the commercial framework of American Idol was stifling her creativity. In contrast to Katy, who longed to champion the strange, the wild, and the avant-garde, contestants were frequently directed towards safe, radio-friendly covers. She recalled her own experience, including how she had abandoned gospel music in favor of pop music, that she had switched modest skirts for cupcake bras, and that she had built her career on defying expectations. The concept for Idol felt like a cage for the same defiant attitude that was being exhibited. Her voice was filled with resentment as she spoke about the candidates in an interview that took place in 2024. "I want them to be free," she added, "but the show wants them to fit a mold." When she reached the end of her career, the fissures were obvious. It seemed as though Katy was recovering her artistic identity through fashion, as seen by the more provocative ensembles she wore. Her statements she made on the broadcast had a touch of soreness to them. "You remind me why I'm here," she whispered to a bashful singer from Texas while she was mentoring her during a live broadcast. She found herself overcome with emotion. However, she was aware that it was time for her to leave. It was not only the schedule or the scrutiny that was suffocating her. Rather, it was the gradual extinguishment of her creative vitality. American Idol had provided her with a stage from which she could inspire others, but it had also bound her to a character that was no longer appropriate for her. It wasn't a spur-of-the-moment choice to depart. Katy has been dropping hints about it for years, and in 2023, she told reporters that she was probably going to be leaving American Idol. Through her music, her family, and her own personal development, she desired to concentrate. In 2024, she released an album titled 143, which was a return to her pop roots and a love letter to both herself and her fans. It was like running a marathon with weights attached to her ankles when she was recording it while she was managing Idol performances. As a result of leaving the program, she was able to recover her time and her voice, which was a freeing experience. For Katy Perry, what is the next step? The rumors that she is leaving build a picture of an artist who is prepared to take her career to the next level. A world tour perhaps, or a more in-depth exploration of the theatrical flair of her play residency are two of the upcoming ideas that she has hinted at. She has become more grounded as a result of motherhood, but it has also driven her creativity. She recently gave an interview in which she declared, "Daisy is my muse now," and her smile was dazzling. She has also made hints about exploring new mediums, such as possibly writing a biography, a documentary, or even making an attempt at filmmaking. There is no such thing as a tiny thing for the woman who once rode a mechanical lion during the halftime performance of the Super Bowl. Katy's time on American Idol was not a failure, rather, it was a period of development. She served as a guide for a large number of musicians, amplified a wide range of voices, and brought to the attention of the American people the fact that pop popularity is also founded on talent. However, she has outgrown the canvas, just like any other artist. It wasn't simply about American Idol that the suffocating experience was about, rather, it was about a lady who refused to be confined. In the moment that she walked off the set for the very final time, leaving glitter in her wake, Katy Perry was not simply exiting a show. As she stepped into the next stanza of her own song, which she is writing on her own terms, she was stepping into the next verse. When everything is said and done, Katy's leaving serves as a reminder that even the most brilliant stars require space to breathe. When they do, they shine even brighter than they did before.